Ly Tu Diem here. Hello everyone. From the deepest part of my heart, I wish you good health, peace, and moments of true happiness. Life has taken me through shadows I never thought I'd survive, but I did. I've healed slowly and painfully, and now I'm truly back, not just in body, but in spirit. Today, I begin a new chapter. I've officially become CEO Toan's secretary. Standing beside the man who once protected me when I had nothing feels like a quiet miracle. And as for what's coming next, there's a surprise, one that even I didn't see coming. After all the storms, after every tear shed in the silence of night, Ly Tu Diem finally stood in front of the mirror, not as the broken girl who had once begged for survival, but as a woman reborn through fire and kindness. The hospital days were behind her, and so was the fear of being unwanted. Toan, the man whose life she had saved, and who later saved hers in return, smiled as he handed her the freshly printed contract. "Welcome aboard, Secretary Diem," he said warmly. Diem's fingers trembled slightly as she held the paper. For the first time in so long, she felt seen, not as someone to be pitied, not as a burden, but as someone valuable. She nodded, her voice still soft but steady. "Thank you, I'll do my best." The office welcomed her with gentle curiosity. Her presence brought something new to the place, a quiet warmth. She was diligent, organized, and always attentive to Toan's needs, though she never overstepped her role. Toan noticed everything. The way she always left his favorite tea on the desk, the way she stayed behind after hours to make sure no detail was overlooked. But it wasn't just about work. Each day they spent together, something deeper grew between them, something unspoken. They never said it out loud, but the care in their glances and the shared silences told their own story. And then came the surprise. One rainy afternoon, while Diem was sorting through papers in the office, Toan walked in with a small box wrapped in blue ribbon. "Can you take a break for a moment?" he asked. She looked up, puzzled, but followed him to the rooftop garden of the building, the place he often came to clear his mind. There, standing in the drizzle, was a small boy holding a paper crane. Diem gasped. It was him, the child she had once called her own, taken away so cruelly by his family. "He ran away," Toan explained gently. "He said he missed you. He said ... You're his real mother." Tears rolled down Diem's cheeks. The little boy ran to her, hugging her tightly. In that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the past, not the pain, not the titles. Just love and hope ... Because sometimes, miracles come back when you least expect them. Diem knelt down, embracing the boy tightly as though afraid he would disappear again. His small arms wrapped around her neck, and his voice whispered against her shoulder, "Mommy, I missed you." She couldn't stop crying, not out of sadness, but because her heart had finally found its missing piece. Toan stood quietly nearby, his eyes soft, full of something unspoken. He had made countless deals and decisions in his life, but nothing compared to the weight of this moment, the reunion of a mother and child. Later that evening, back inside Toan's office, Diem sat beside the boy as he ate warm soup. Her fingers gently brushed his hair, still trying to believe this wasn't a dream. "How did he find us?" she asked quietly. Toan replied, "He remembered your stories. About the big building with the garden on the roof. He walked for hours, asking strangers until someone recognized me and brought him in." Diem's eyes filled again. "He's brave." "So are you," Toan said softly. The days that followed brought calm and joy. Diem continued working as Toan's secretary, but now she had her little one with her, always close by. The staff took turns playing with him, bringing snacks, and laughing at his innocent questions. His presence seemed to soften the atmosphere of the entire company. Toan, meanwhile, grew more certain of his feelings. He admired Diem not only for her strength and heart, but for the way she healed quietly, never asking for anything, but giving so much. One late evening, as the city lights blinked in the distance and the office emptied out, Toan walked into Diem's office. She was reading a bedtime story to the boy on a couch near the window. He waited, listening to her voice, calm, warm, gentle. When she finished, he stepped forward and said, "I've seen many types of strength in business, but yours ... it's the kind I want beside me. Not just here." She looked up, surprised. "I don't just want a secretary, Diem," he continued, voice steady. "I want a partner for life." She stared at him, heart racing. "I know you've been through too much. I'm not asking you to decide tonight. But if one day you feel ready, know that I'll be here, waiting." The little boy looked up at both of them, smiled, and whispered, "Can we be a family?" Diem laughed through her tears. Maybe hope really was the last thing lost. But in this moment, she had found it again. Fully. Finally. The days passed gently like petals floating downstream. In the quiet rhythm of everyday life, something unspoken bloomed between Diem and Toan, not rushed, not forced, just quietly growing like spring beneath the snow. Diem arrived at work each morning with the little boy's hand in hers. He had become the heart of the office, small feet running through the hallways, innocent laughter echoing between glass walls, melting even the most serious staff members. Diem, with her quiet strength and unwavering grace, brought a calm presence to the workplace that Toan hadn't realized he needed. One late Friday afternoon, the rain was falling softly outside the office windows. Most of the staff had gone home. Toan was finishing up reports when he noticed the warm glow of light coming from the assistant's office. He walked over, quietly. Inside, Diem was asleep on the couch, the boy curled up on her lap, a children's book still open in her hands. For a long moment, Toan just stood there, taking it in, the softness, the peace, the completeness of the scene. He walked over, gently covered both with a warm blanket. But as he turned to leave, Diem stirred. "Toan?" He paused. "Did I wake you?" She shook her head, brushing the boy's hair gently. "I didn't mean to fall asleep. We were just waiting for the rain to stop." He smiled. "There's no rush. You can stay as long as you like. In fact," he hesitated, then sat beside her. "In fact, I've been thinking about what I said that night, about us." Her gaze lowered slightly, unsure. "I know your heart is still healing," he said softly. "But I also see the way you care. For him, for me. And I want you to know, I'm not going anywhere. This life, this little family we've started, I want to protect it, build it." Diem blinked, trying to steady the wave rising in her chest. "I was so afraid to believe," she whispered. "Afraid if I accepted kindness, it would be taken away again." Toan reached out, gently taking her hand. "Not this time," he said, "not with me." She looked at him, and this time, she didn't look away. The little boy stirred between them, mumbling in his sleep, "Mom and Dad." Their eyes met again, and in that one glance, they both knew. It wasn't just a reunion. It was the beginning of something whole, something real, something that neither time nor hardship could ever take away. The following morning, sunlight spilled into the office like a quiet blessing. Diem walked beside Toan through the company halls, her steps lighter than before. The employees greeted her with warm smiles and respect, not just because she was the CEO's secretary, but because she had earned their admiration. She wasn't just a survivor anymore. She was someone who had risen, step by step, through darkness into light. But the surprise was yet to come. That evening, after a long day of work and shared laughter, Toan invited Diem and the boy to a dinner, not in a restaurant, but at the new house he had built on the hill. The place where he once stood alone, imagining a future that now, somehow, had found him. The house was glowing with soft lights when they arrived. On the table, a simple meal had been set, home-cooked by Toan's mother, who now treated Diem like her own daughter. Diem helped the boys settle in, looking around the house that already felt oddly like home. Then Toan reached into a drawer and pulled out a small red box. Her heart skipped. He knelt, not with a ring, but with a key. "This is not a proposal," he said gently. "Not yet. I know we've both walked through storms, and I won't ask you for anything you're not ready to give." Diem's eyes began to blur with tears. "But I want you to know," he continued, voice soft but steady, "you and your son, you are safe here. This house is yours as much as it is mine. No matter what happens, you'll always have a place, a door to return to." She didn't need to speak. She simply stepped forward, placed her hand over his, and nodded. The boy ran into the room just then, holding a drawing he had made, 3 stick figures holding hands under a bright yellow sun. He held it up proudly. "Look, it's us." And somehow, in that quiet room, with only the sound of breath and heartbeats, everything felt whole. For the first time in a long time, Ly Tu Diem no longer feared tomorrow, because finally, she had something and someone worth believing in. Life lesson from the story. The story of Ly Tu Diem teaches us a powerful lesson about resilience, kindness, and the quiet strength of healing. No matter how painful the past may be, it does not define our future. Diem endured abandonment, loss, and fear, yet she chose not to let bitterness take over her heart. Instead, she held on to the smallest thread of hope and allowed love and kindness to guide her steps.